And every single time the baseball player's contract ran out, there was either a lockout or a strike. Just a few names: Brooks Robinson, Jim Bunning, who later kind of did something a little different, but he was a big union supporter. Dave McNally, Reggie Jackson, Joe Torre, who's now in a little bit of a different role on the other side, Dave Winfield, who still works for our union, Tom Glavine. All these big superstars stuck out their neck, and they did that for a reason that Michael alluded to earlier, and it goes to what's best about unions in general, which is that these players knew that they both owed a debt to the players who came before them, who sacrificed for them, and felt an obligation to make sure that the gains that they had weren't lost and that future players, future generations would benefit from it. And part of what we always have to do is, as the Baseball Players Union or as any union, is make sure that the players today understand the history and where they came from and what sacrifices were made by players in the past.
Dave, an injury to one is an injury to all. And you mentioned Jim Bunning. Another Philadelphia legend is Pete Rose. And my question to you is, what is your union doing for Pete Rose? Other athletes are given a second chance. For some reason, he doesn't get one. So what is your union doing for Pete Rose? An injury to one is an injury to all.
What are we doing for Pete Rose? I don't want to duck the question. We don't have a vote on whether Pete Rose gets reinstated or goes back into the Hall since he's not a member. My personal view of it is that he should be in the Hall of Fame because of what he accomplished in his career, and because last time I looked, there wasn't necessarily a complete character test for the Hall of Fame. So that's my personal view. As for our view of what Pete Rose did, you can form your own conclusions. It's very interesting to me that last year, for instance, Commissioner Manfred went through the entire process of interviewing Pete Rose and talking to him, and then at the same time was busy purchasing a share on behalf of Major League Baseball of DraftKings, right? And if you look it up, Major League Baseball now owns shares in DraftKings. So,
aren't you still part of the union once you retire?
Legally, no. Are you still part of the same fraternity? Absolutely. And we have a very close relationship with lots of former employees. And one of the big initiatives that Tony Clark has started is to provide a lot more career counseling, a lot more career transition opportunities for players who leave the game, who often find themselves having given up a college education in some cases, having devoted their careers to baseball, trying to figure out what to do next. So we're devoting a lot of resources to developing that particular transition for our members and our former members.